What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler, and there is No Perfect Movie. But now that my Disney movie series has been finally completed, my series of 2D animated hand drawn films, all from Walt Disney Animation Studios, which, by the way, thank you guys for sticking with me through the entire series. I started it off as just a way to keep myself occupied, keep myself creating more content so that I didn't fall into the same period of going months on end without making anything. I've done that a couple times before in the past. It really slowed me down. But thank you so much for sticking through it. It was a ton of fun, and it makes me want to review a new studio of 2D animated films. So I left it up to you guys to vote on four particular studios. The DreamWorks studio, which only has four films to cover that are 2D, which would have been really easy. Studio Ghibli, which would have been the most obvious out of all of them. Don Bluth Studios, which I was really hoping you guys would vote for the most because I really don't know that much about them, and I thought it would have been a lot of fun to go into these movies with the element of surprise. Or I could have kept the Disney theme going with Disney Toon Studios, which basically put out adaptations of cartoon shows or sequels to already beloved classics. And this was not really that hard of a decision because only 12 people voted on which series I should do next. But, much to my surprise, out of all 12 votes, 5 won the majority of the 2D DreamWorks Animation Studios films, which, yeah, as I said before, that it's going to be ridiculously easy. There are only 4 of them. So, I'm not going to review them right away, but stay tuned for reviews of The Prince of Egypt, The Road to El Dorado, Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron, and Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. I am also a little unfamiliar with a couple of these. I remember watching Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron as a kid. Not, I don't remember it enough to get the damn title right, obviously, but I remember enjoying it. I remember seeing Sinbad at a friend's house because he had more DreamWorks and Don Bluth films as opposed to Disney. So if I ever remember any glimpses of movies like this, it would probably be from that one friend's house. But I've never seen Road to El Dorado, but people say that it's an underrated animated comedy. And The Prince of Egypt, everyone tells me, is one of the most underrated films in general. So I'm probably going to save that one for last just to see if the hype really pays off in the end. In the meantime, as I am going to watch these movies pretty much all in sync first before I review them one by one, I want to take a little bit of time to make videos that aren't exclusively animation. And I realized that there are some movies when I was making my best of the year list last year that there were some movies that I hadn't gotten the chance to review yet, like Dragged Across Concrete or Shadow, and I really want to talk about them right now. So be sure to stay tuned for those videos. I'm going to have them up very soon. They're not going to look the exact same as the videos I've been putting up during the Disney series, but I'll try and keep it as consistent as possible. If you saw my Bed Knobs and Broomsticks review, you may have heard me mention that I was making my podcast debut on Joshcast on Sharp Edge Cinematics with my good buddy Josh Govden. He works at a local art house theater that I love to go to. We met a couple years ago while he was on the job. We talked for hours after the movie was over just about stuff we loved, stuff we hated. We really hit it off, and we kept in touch ever since. But now that he's creating daily content on his channel, putting up certain podcasts about movie news, about movie reviews, he likes to talk about older stuff from the past because he really grew up on that stuff, and that's where his love of film came. We did a video talking about some of our favorite directors, and while the quality wasn't exactly what we were expecting, we still had a blast shooting and editing it. And we decided that we were going to make a video every Saturday to spend an hour or two talking about one certain subject. So the previous podcast we talked about our favorite directors. The upcoming episode, which I can't put the link up because it's not up yet, but I will definitely put his subscribe button here during the end screen. We are going to talk about the entire MCU from the first Iron Man to Avengers Endgame. We talked for probably 2.5 hours. We had a lot to say about each movie. We just had a ton of fun, and I would like to get more people to watch his own stuff, not just stuff with me in it, because as much as he loves to review movies and talk about the latest news, deep down, he's a filmmaker. He loves making shorts. I actually got to see one of his shorts, and his debut feature film at the very theater that he works at. And it was an experience, to say the least. And because of my commitments to him, I have to talk about the short and the feature, which you will see in the future. I don't know exactly how much time I'm going to have, but he did give me a deadline, which is June 8th, and I intend to meet that. Anyways, guys, thank you for bearing with me on all this rambling. You have absolutely no idea how many takes it got for me to just say one sentence right. I'm not good at winging these videos, but in any case, be sure to stay tuned for my upcoming 2D DreamWorks series. Be sure to stay tuned for reviews of movies that I missed the chance to talk about in the previous year. Be sure to check out Josh's channel, Sharp Edge Cinematics. Be sure to stay tuned for more content, and be sure to like and subscribe. Take care.